What happened? What's up? What's up? What's up? What's happening, y'all? This is your boy, Joseph. Man, this is my other side of what happens when you get to know who you are. And this is what's produced. So, the name of this, Cali Culture, Cali Culture. We in it. We in it. We in it. We in it. Live and direct. Step on your neck. We in effect. Boy. So here we go, man. I hope everybody doing all right today. So we about to get into it, bro. So every let's just say every section of America has its own culture. Let's get it popping. Say it again. Say it with your chest, Nick. Nah. But every section of America, north, south, east, west, got their own culture or what they represent. And first of all, let's start by the culture. But let's start with the shoes. Let's start with the shoes. Not the culture. Not the culture. I'm sorry about that. We're going to start with the shoes and then we're going to get to another subject because we got to determine some things what's and wins and who's the who's. So, we're going to start in Mississippi, my birthplace. In Mississippi, up Memphis, and certain other parts of the South, you either wearing gangster nights or probably Maypops if your mom and them can't afford that type of stuff. But mainly, our culture was gangster nights, gangster Nikes, excuse me, gangster Nikes. Now, up north in certain areas in the Midwest, it was, in my time, it was Adidas because of Run DMC. It was Adidas Dora. Then it was Troop. Man, yes, Troop. Man, love those. Then Grant Hill came. Like, it was a lot of shoes that up Midwest that represented that culture of the section of America. Now, you know, New York niggas, they had this. But anyway, you had the East that had their own apparel and how they got down what they wore. Then you go to Cali. Come on in, man. I'm just live right now, man. But then you got Cali. Cali was always known for Converse. Now, being that they was known for Converse, you would know their culture, or somewhat some parts of their culture, even from down to like the pro clubs, the khakis, you know what I mean, the Pendletons, you know what I mean, so forth. Up in Detroit, up in the Midwest, Pelly Pale, you know, all that, you know, the triple fat, the gooseneck. Yeah, man, but anyway, triple fat goose, man. But, you know, because it was always dependent on the weather and the conditions of that certain location. See, Cali got that sunshine, got the khakis. You know what I mean? Even Mississippi picked up with the Kings and and the Raiders hat. You know what I mean? NWA, they did their thing when they did that. You know what I mean? So get to the point we start knowing who's and what's and wins when you just start looking at how the culture is fitted. Then you knew how that culture moved, and you knew what was in that culture that cultivated within all these certain things I just gave to you. So me being out here in Cali, you know what I mean, for quite a time now, you know what I mean, and you know, this is my kids, this is my kids' hometown or they home state. You know what I mean? So my son's 19 now, so you should already know. But I couldn't. But anyway, to get never mind that. But anyway, man, you know a place by their culture, and you know you got certain little ways you raised up. You got certain organizations that you stand on, and that was birthed around your location. You know what I mean? The conditions. You know what I mean? Meaning the social status. You know what I mean? And me, I'm greatly to dabble in a little bit all these cultures and be around to see a lot of these things. Way before the internet, you know what I mean? Early 80s, you know what I mean? 90s, you know, and passed over time, you see they didn't went from Converse to Vans. You know what I mean? But my son, he had some, but he ain't like them too much. He ain't like them too much, and I ain't gonna say he ain't like them too much. He just, you know, see what he went off what his daddy wore. You did. So you know this thing goes way back, man. Like like every location of this nation, boy, they have culture that no one can take away from them. You know, then you know when you hear some of these dudes up here talking, then you start seeing, nah, I don't know, cause some of these dudes they be standing on the wrong ground. Then you start like you let a fool talk long enough, they gonna expose themselves. And a lot of niggas expose themselves as cloning others. This is why they made Clone Tyrone. This is the internet, that damn chicken that everybody laughing. Yeah, yeah, it's funny, nigga, till they end up cloning your ass. And see, this is what happens too. You know what I mean? A child clones and emulate what you do, depending on what type of, depending on the situation. I'm gonna just do that because a lot of, like I said, a lot of these places and locations I've been, you know what I mean, been there, can't nobody take it away from them because I just laid out the evidence. So it is what it is. You know, damn what a sucker say. But with that said, man, I want to say more, but I don't feel like I need to say more because what what explained don't need to be understood. Is we good? On that note, I'm out.